this city 3 days, and already I can't remember what I thought I needed before the music found me, which is what New Orleans does. It doesn't ask what you came for, just starts playing and waits for you to catch up. The French Quarter at midnight is not what the tourists think. They come for the noise, but the real thing is underneath it. The particular conversation between the trumpet and the street that's been going on since before anyone was keeping score. I stood on a corner for 45 minutes, listening to a man play trumpet for nobody, which is to say, everyone. Bourbon Street blues, not the sad kind, the particular kind that finds you when the music is so alive and makes everything else seem like it's been waiting to be this honest, this loud, this particular, the kind that gets inside you, stays the crowd, parts around it, which is the whole of what New Orleans offers, the soul of somewhere that invented this and never stopped, never missed a single night of it for anyone who needed it, which is everyone. By the third night I stopped being a tourist, which means I stopped explaining to myself what I was doing there, just went, which is the only way to be in a city that was never waiting for your understanding, only your presence. La ville elle chante toujours pour ceux qui savent écouter. Pas besoin de comprendre, juste être là, juste sentir. There's a bar on Frenchman Street that's been playing since before my parents met. The same songs, different hands, which is either tradition or stubbornness. I've decided it's the same thing, done with enough love that the difference stopped mattering somewhere around 1947. The woman singing tonight has a voice that sounds like it's been somewhere, which it has, you can always tell. The ones who learned it from living versus the ones who learned it from learning, which is not a criticism of either, just a different kind of knowing. She sang something I half recognized from somewhere I've never been, which is what the blues does best, makes you homesick for lives you haven't lived. Magnolia and midnight the particular combination that New Orleans invented and never let go of. The nation of one city, one music, one warm and complicated evening that holds everything, the storm and the beauty, the grieving and the dancing, which here are the same thing always were, which is what I came to hear, which is what I came here for. I stayed for 3 sets, which is how you know the music got you when you lose track of time. Not because you forgot, but because time stopped mattering less than the song, which is the whole point of both. The magnolia outside was blooming, which in November means the city is showing off again, which it does constantly, correctly.
Every club on Frenchman Street is playing something different, and all of it is right, which is the miracle of this city. You can stand on one corner and hear 5 arguments about jazz, and every single one of them is correct. I've been a musician for 20 years, and this is the only place where I feel like a student, not because I'm worse here, but because here the music has been arguing with itself for 100 years and hasn't gotten tired. The trumpet on the corner doesn't care about my opinion,
it just plays,
which is the lesson
I keep having to relearn. Frenchman Street at midnight, every note a conversation
between the living and whoever taught them
the particular nation
of this music. No borders,
no beginning,
just the ongoing
argument of what jazz is,
which New Orleans keeps going,
because it invented both sides of the argument
and loves them
equally. I sat on the steps of the Spotted Cat and let it wash over me. 3 bands playing simultaneously,
none of them competing,
all of them right,
which is the thing about this city.
It figured out how to hold contradictions without choosing.
La musique ici, elle appartient à tout le monde
et à personne.
C'est pour ça qu'elle dure.
They brought him out with music, which is the right way to bring anyone anywhere in this city. with music. The brass band turned the corner and everyone fell in behind, which is what you do here when the music says follow. I didn't know the man they were honoring, but I followed anyway, because the second line doesn't ask for credentials, just your feet and your willingness to be briefly part of something larger than whatever you came with, which I was willing entirely. There's a kind of grief here that dances, which sounds wrong until you're in it, and then it's the only thing that makes sense. Second line, for the living and the gone. Second line, the music carries on. What the words can't hold, the particular weight of loss made cellular. Into rhythm, into movement, into the street, which receives it. The concrete of New Orleans, which has held more grief than most cities, and welded up into music, which is the whole theology of this. By the third block I was crying, which nobody found unusual, which is the other miracle, that here your grief has company, that marches with a tuba and a snare drum, and doesn't ask you to stop, just to keep moving, which you do. They say in New Orleans you mourn by dancing, which I thought was metaphor, until the music started, and my feet knew before I did. Sweet mama ain't crying no more. Left my tears on that man's floor. Picked myself up, dried my eyes. New Orleans morning, no surprise. He said he'd love me, said it fine, said it morning, said it nighttime. But a man who talks is just a man, a woman moving, that's a plan. The magnolia don't cry for rain, it just blooms and blooms again. And sweet mama's taking note of everything that magnolia's got. Sweet mama ain't crying no more. Got the blues but got the door. Got the morning, got the street. Got the music, got my feet. Ain't nobody gonna keep me down, not in this city, not in this town, where the trumpet plays at dawn. Sweet mama's crying days are gone. Used to wait for him to call, used to hang my heart on his wall. Now my heart hangs where I please. Sweet mama's doing as she please. The river don't stop for anyone, and neither do I, no, since before I came, and it'll play long after, just the same. The oldest jazz neighborhood in the world, which means the music here has been arguing with itself longer than anywhere else, and settled into something that sounds like, finally, this is what we meant all along. I grew up going to church, which taught me about call and response, before I knew what jazz was, which turns out to be the same conversation, just with a trumpet instead of a congregation, which is either heresy or truth. The music here doesn't perform, it just is, which is what they mean when they say it was born here. Treme, where the music lives, not performs lives. Treme, where everything gives way to the particular sound of people who invented this and never left the ground it grew from, which is the whole of what profound means here in this neighborhood, this sound. On Sunday mornings, you can hear three different things at once from my porch, which my neighbor says is either paradise or chaos. I say it's the same thing, which she agrees with, which is how we've been neighbors for 8 years. The music didn't come from somewhere else, it grew here, out of this ground, out of everything this ground held, which was everything, which became this sound.
Ain't got long on this earth, baby, that much I know for sure. But I got tonight and the music, and honey, that's the cure for everything that ails a man from Monday through to Friday. Tonight I'm playing Frenchman Street, and Lord, that's my payday. Used to worry about tomorrow, used to count what I ain't got. Now I play my horn till midnight and give the music all I've got. 'Cause the man who's counting blessings while the trumpet calls his name is the richest man in Louisiana, and I'm playing just the same. Ain't got long, but got tonight. Ain't got much, but got it right. Got the music and the people and the sound that makes it equal. Ain't got long on this earth, baby, but I'm spending what I've got on the music and the evening end, which is this, just this, which was enough. My daddy played the same streets, his daddy played them too. This trumpet's been in Louisiana since before anyone I knew. And when I'm gone, it'll keep playing in somebody else's hands, which is the only kind of praying that this particular man understands. Ain't counting what I'm owed, just playing what I've got. The music knows the rest, and honey, that's a lot.
My grandmother came up from the Delta, which is where the blues was born. Before it came to New Orleans and put on its Sunday clothes, she brought it with her in her hands, in the way she held a knife, in the way she held a hymnal, in the way she held her life. I used to think the blues was sadness, which is the first mistake everyone makes. The blues is what you do with sadness, which is different, which is why it sounds the way it sounds, not like giving up, but like continuing, which is the harder and more honest thing. My grandmother never called it blues, she just called it Tuesday, which is the most accurate definition I've ever heard. River road running through this music, river road, the particular everything the Delta gave to everyone who came this way and made it into something that could hold the weight of living, which is the whole thing, which is the whole of the giving. She hummed in the kitchen on Saturdays, which she learned from her mother, who learned them from the Delta, which learned them from something nobody has a name for, just the particular sound of people insisting on existing. Isn't tragic, it's the opposite of tragic. It's what happens when you decide the tragedy isn't the last word. They call last call at 2, which nobody believed. was still going, which meant the night was still going, which meant we were still going, which is how New Orleans extends everything past its official ending.
I've been in this bar since 10,
which is either dedication
or the particular efficiency
of someone who found what he needed
and didn't leave, which I didn't,
which was either wisdom
or the inability to choose,
which also describes wisdom sometimes. But the music's still playing,
and the night's not done.
Last call,
which means nothing here,
nothing that the music hasn't already won. Last call in New Orleans, which is the city's favorite joke. Last call, which convenes everyone who ever woke
up in a city that doesn't sleep,
and found that neither could they,
which is either the curse to keep
or the whole point of the day. I looked around at who was left,
which is always the truest picture
of any night, the bereft
and the joyful,
the fixture, regulars and the ones
who stumbled in from somewhere else,
and found something.
the ones who found it
Stayed themselves. The music's still going,
the night's still going,
which means we're still here,
which is the whole of what the music was trying to say.
all night, all year.
Storyville is gone now, but the music it made is still walking these streets in different shoes. They closed it in 1917, which scattered the musicians north, which is how Chicago got its jazz, which is how New York got it, which is how the world got it from 16 blocks of New Orleans. I play a club 2 blocks from where Buddy Bolden played, which is either meaningless or the whole point, depending on whether you believe in the geography of music, which I do, which is why I still live here. The ground remembers what the buildings forgot. The music remembers everything, which is why it sounds like that. Storyville, 16 blocks, that changed everything. Storyville, the clock stopped there, and the ringing never quite went away. Just moved, which is what music does when you try to shut it down. It stays in the ground, which buzzes with everything it ever held, which you can hear if you listen, which I do every night, compelled by everything still glistening underneath these streets. My trumpet is older than I am, which is the right way around. I'm just borrowing it from whoever played it before, and whoever will play it after, which puts everything in perspective, including the particular laughter of thinking anything is mine. Perspective, they can close the buildings, but not the frequency. The music found another way, which it always does, which is why we're still here.
Magnolia blooms in December here, which is the city's particular argument against the rest of the world's idea of what winter should feel like. La fleur en décembre, c'est la ville qui dit: vos règles ne s'appliquent pas ici. Jamais. I've been here 15 Decembers, and the magnolia still surprises me, which means the city is still teaching me something. I'm not religious, I should say that before I tell you what happened. When the second line turned the corner and the brass hit full volume, and something in my chest that I don't have a word for opened, which is either God or the tuba or both.
I've been an atheist since 17, which holds up in most conditions, but not in New Orleans,
when the music gets serious, not the performance of serious, the actual, when the trumpet says something that can't be said any other way, which happens here. Something opened
that I can't name,
which is either the definition of God or the definition of music, which here are the same. The baptism nobody asked for, the one the music performs on everyone who stays long enough to hear it in its full forms. Not the tourist version, the actual, which arrives without warning, which converts nobody but reminds, revives something which is enough, which is everything, the rough and beautiful particular of being changed by sound. I cried on Frenchman Street at a Tuesday night show in front of strangers who completely understood, which is either embarrassing or exactly what music is for. I've decided it's the latter, which required no decision, just more. The music calls and something answers that you didn't know was there, which was always there, which is the whole of it. Honey, don't you weep for me. I done made my peace with free. Free from loving what don't love me back. Free from everything I lack. The music's playing down the street, and baby, that's the only heartbeat I need tonight. Just that sound and this old town and this old ground. Used to cry myself to sleeping, used to do my midnight weeping. Now I listen to the trumpets sing and let the blues do everything that crying used to do, but better. 'Cause the blues don't leave a letter, it just plays until you're through, and then it plays you something new. Honey, don't you weep for what's gone. The music's gonna carry you on from the old love to the new day. That's the only New Orleans way. Honey, don't you weep, don't you cry. The trumpet's gonna tell you why. Everything that left was just making room, making room. It must have been because the music came and filled it all, and nothing's the same as it was, which is exactly right. Honey, don't you weep tonight. I got the Mississippi on one side and the music on the other, and between the two I got enough to be somebody's own mother of her fate, which I am, which is the whole of what this city gives to women who you stay long enough to learn that staying is the stuff of everything, of music, of life. The river don't weep, it just runs. The music don't weep, it just comes. And that's the lesson, honey, that's the song.
After the funeral comes the second line, which is New Orleans saying the grief is real, but so is the living, which has to continue, which requires music, which the city provides as a matter of civic duty. I follow 3 second lines for people I didn't know, which is the right number for understanding. The first time I didn't know what I was feeling. The second time I understood the form. The third time I understood that form and feeling are the same thing. They told me New Orleans was about death, which is the wrong way around. It's about what you do with it, which is this sound. After the funeral, the music. After the grief, the street. After the ending, the particular insistence of the beat that says continue, continue, which is either brutal or kind, depending on the particular sinew of grief you're carrying. The mind decides later, the body follows. The brass first, which is correct. The music leads, what follows is whatever you brought. Connect it to the beat and walk. My father would have hated this, which is why I'm doing it for him. He was a private man who kept his grief inside, which is one way. This is another, which is the New Orleans way of saying both are right, but this is louder. The second line doesn't fix anything, it just moves it, which is the most honest thing you can do with grief. Just move it forward.
My great-grandmother spoke Creole French, which I never learned, which is the particular grief of the 3rd generation. The language went, but something stayed in the way she held her hands, in the way she held her silences, in the way I hold mine now. I found her letters in a box after she died, which I couldn't read, which is either the saddest thing or the most honest inheritance. A language you can feel but not translate, which is what the music does, which is maybe why I came back to this city. La lune créole, elle parle une langue que le corps comprend avant les mots. Creole moon, the particular light of something you inherited without knowing, the particular night of a language spirited into the body before the mind could file an objection, which is how the deepest things arrive, the kind you carry without knowing how or why. Just that you do, just that it's yours, just that it's true. I sang one of her songs at the funeral in a language I don't speak phonetically, which is either sacrilege or the truest prayer that someone who loves a language they were never given can offer, which my aunt said was exactly right, which was enough. Je ne parle pas ta langue, mais je la porte dans quelque chose qui n'a pas de nom. Qui n'a pas de nom.
Basin Street is where they meet, the elite and the down and out, where the dark and the light compete, and the music drowns the doubt. I've been walking this street since I was old enough to know that the music underneath your feet is the only thing that's really so. My uncle played here in the 60s when Basin Street still had its clubs. He said the music hit you like a warm hand on your shoulder that you didn't know you needed, which is how it still feels when the trumpet finds the note that the night was holding for you. Basin Street, where the music lives, not in the buildings in the ground. Basin Street, where the city gives itself away in sound. Basin Street blues, the real ones, not the performance, the actual. Basin Street blues, the steel ones that hold you when the factual weight of living gets too heavy for carrying alone, which it does, which is when the music's ready to carry it, which it was born to do, which is why it sounds the way it sounds, which is why nobody says goodbye on Basin Street, just around. which is the right place to start. Not because of the history, but because the history means the room already knows what music is for, which means you can skip the explanation and go straight to the truth. Basin Street been here since always. Basin Street gonna be here still when everything else changes. Basin Street will.
music knows things that the people who made it didn't know they knew, which is the definition of art, and also of New Orleans, where people have been making things they don't fully understand for 300 years. I came here looking for something, which I found, though not the thing I came looking for, which is the standard New Orleans outcome. You find what you needed, not what you wanted, which are different things that this city knows better than you. The music knew before I did what I needed, which it played without asking, which is the gift of somewhere that doesn't negotiate. What the music knows it plays, what the music knows it says, without words, which is the whole of what words can't hold, the soul of whatever this is. This city, this music, this particular pretty and difficult and generous thing that keeps playing, keeps playing, keeps playing. I'm leaving tomorrow, which the music already knows, which is why tonight it's playing everything, which is either coincidence or the city's way of saying everything it would have said if it used words which it doesn't need. I'll take something with me that I couldn't have named before I came here, which is the whole point of going somewhere. They play it at funerals and at weddings and at 2 a.m. on Frenchman Street and at second lines and at the end of everything and the beginning of everything, which means it belongs to all of it, which is correct.
I used to think it was a cliche,
which it is, which is different from being wrong. A cliche is just a truth that got said too many times because it kept being true, which is why they keep playing it, because it keeps being true. When the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, how I wanna be in that number, which is the whole of it, the number of everyone who ever needed this music, which is everyone, which is the number. When the saints go marching in, the city opens up and lets them through. When the saints go marching in, every note is something true that couldn't be said any other way, which is why it's still being played after all this time, after every day that New Orleans has survived and stayed and played and played and played, which is the answer to every question anyone ever had about why music matters, which is this, just this. I heard it for the last time on a Tuesday, which is when things happen that you remember for the rest of whatever comes after, which is everything, which is the particular gift of New Orleans. It makes everything feel like the last time and the first time simultaneously. Lord, how I want to be in that number, which I am tonight, which is it.